a number of qualities of heart and mind that are recommended that we cultivate in Buddhist psychology. They're called paramis, Paramis, the perfections and qualities of heart and mind to be cultivated, nurtured, enhanced on the path. Sometimes they're thought of as that they can naturally arise out of the practice, but not necessarily. They're also considered to be actions to manifest in the world. They're action-oriented qualities. One I'd like to speak about this morning is generosity, which is really one of the top ones that's emphasized. And it's considered to be something that's plants good seeds for a future lifetime, but also as feels good in this lifetime and really supports one's nervous system, one's practice, one's well-being, if it's practiced. And in some Asian countries, my understanding, I haven't been, but in Burma and Thailand in particular, I know people who've been there, and one good friend who's lived there for a while, who's really blown away by the extent to which generosity and patience, those two, generosity is practiced by the laity as just almost a cultural practice. Generosity. Even though the householders in Thailand do not practice much meditation, formal meditation, they practice generosity as they move through the world. He was absolutely staggered by it, the extent to which that is prevalent, generosity. And in Burma, when someone has a birthday, they give everyone close to them presents. Yeah, little inverse of the way we do it over here. Here we receive presents on our birthday. Over there, we give presents. They give presents on birthday. Yeah, again, generosity. Here, well, of course we practice generosity. Sometimes, when it feels right, when the mood is right. And when we're under more stress, like these days, there can be a tendency to spend more of our energy just managing our own nervous system, just taking care of it. There's so much difficult energy moving through out there and in here. It's one of those qualities that can begin to get less attention. Generosity, Yeah. As everything tightens up a little bit more, The breath is a little tighter. The heart is not necessarily closed, but the energy is to take care of myself. The more the default these days can be like, how do I manage all this? And there are times when, this is one of them I would suggest, and it's something that we practice, where we have to put the behavior ahead of the motivation. In other words, rather than waiting until I'm feeling in a generous mood, in which case generosity is more likely to flow. But putting the generosity first, I equate this to something like exercise, which we tend to be fairly committed to working out. Very seldom do I feel like working out. If I wait until I feel like doing it, I'm not going to exercise very often, to be honest. But it's something that I know will feel good after I do it. I've had enough experience to know that. And so it is with generosity. It shouldn't be a best-kept secret. It's not really a secret, but we know this. Generosity feels good to the giver. If I'm kind of tight, and I can allow myself to express something generous, and it doesn't have to be huge. It can be a hello. It can be offering a simple compliment. It can be listening a little bit more wholeheartedly to someone else. My heart will begin to open as I'm doing that, although it wasn't that open before I did it, you know? So it can work in that way, putting generosity first, greeting someone, you know? You know, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there are more people are managing their own affect, managing their own nervous systems, don't have as much an inclination to be generous as the world is on fire. And yet, it's something that we need. It's something that we need. We need to feel generosity, and we need to offer it. We need to offer it. You know. So. And we need to find ways to create a positive flow these days. And generosity can be one of those ways. It used to be, no, I'm not in the mood to be generous today. You know, maybe later, maybe another time, maybe another day. Well, now it's like what? Maybe another month? You know, when things settle a little bit more? I don't think we can wait that long. Yeah. You know, that we may be in, for some of this, in the long haul, and we still need to keep our heart in a flowing space and with respect to others. So it's an encouragement for all of us to step out of our ruminations, you know, step out of all that's rolling through the heart and mind and find simple ways to offer, you know. I think I've shared this with you. We do this every day with Horse Boy and Bull Boy up in the meadow. You know, yesterday for the first time, I swear we haven't seen this horse gallop or kind of have a swish in his tail for a while, but there hasn't been a lot of generosity coming toward this horse, we think, since he's been in that pasture. And suddenly he's coming alive. You know, you can feel it energetically. He galloped across the field. We've never seen him have you know, that kind of pace in his step as he came over to get his carrot and his affection, you know, and his affection, you know. And it's like that with us. We offer, it will be received, and it will create a positive flow in us. So wherever we can offer in small ways our generosity, yeah, in small ways. Yeah, some encouragement to that thing that may come more naturally at other times, and maybe for some of us arising a little bit less so. Let's re-invite that into the mix of our daily lives. Generosity. Yeah. But this morning, we'll be generous with ourselves and spend some time settling our nervous system, you know, being generous with ourselves in that way. Yeah.